today we are going to be looking at equations. Now, I know we have been doing simplifying expressions, but remember that all of the lessons are recorded and are on Watobe's website. So if you need to go back and rewatch anything or have a look at anything, then please go do it there. Remember, know how to take a screenshot on your device that you're using. And if you have any questions, either raise your hand or pop it in the chat and we will happily and excitedly help you. Alrighty. So let's get started with equations. I love equations. Equations is one of my favorite sections. So we're going to have some fun. Alrighty. When we solve equations, we need to remember two important things. Firstly, to solve an equation, we need to use inverse operations. And what we need to remember is that what we do to one side of the equation, we have to do to both sides, because an equation is something that is balanced. It's saying that the left-hand side is equal to the right-hand side. And so if I'm going to start changing one side, I have to do the same thing to the other side to keep that balance in check. Okay, just quickly, this whole inverse operations thing, it seems like a very complicated way to say, do the opposite thing. So what this means is, or inverse means opposite. An operation refers to your addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. And you'll see what I mean as we go through these, but basically to solve something, if we want to get x alone, we need to do those inverse operations. Okay, I see some answers coming through, so let's have a look. So in our first question, we've got x plus 2 equals 8. Now, I'm pretty confident that all of you can look at that and tell me what the answer to x is. And that's all well and good when we've got a nice, easy equation. You can definitely go straight to the answer. But I'm going to show you how you would do it using your inverse operation so we can start getting some practice. Inverse operations tells me that in order for me to solve for x, I want to get x alone. So I want x equals some value because the goal is to solve for that unknown variable. So using my inverse operations, I'm saying, okay, well, I've got a problem with this plus 2 being by the x. I want to get rid of it. So I'm going to subtract 2 because plus 2 minus 2 means or gives me 0. But remember, what I'm doing to one side of the equation, I have to do to the other. And so what I have here is x is equal to 8 minus 2. And as I can see in the chat, you've all correctly told me that x is equal to 6. Okay, so that's quite a basic equation. You could look at that and you can tell me what the answer is. Just very quickly, those 3 dots that I've written there, just so that there's no confusion, it basically means therefore. So we're saying because I've subtracted 2 on both sides, I can therefore say x is equal to 6. All right. So hopefully that wasn't too bad. I'm seeing lots of x equals 6s, which I'm liking. Whoops. So let's have a look at.
We are fast in this class, and that's why I love it. Well done, my people.
Okay, guys, so let's have a look at what's happening in question 2 here. Again, I'm going to do the inverse operations just so we can get used to it. When I've got the x minus 2 now, the inverse of subtracting 2 is to add 2. That will essentially give me 0 on the left, but I need to keep my equation balanced. So I also need to add 2 on the right. So that leaves me with x is equal to 8 plus 2. And so x, as you've all told me, is equal to 10. Well done, everyone. Okay.
We are flying. We are flying through this, guys. Well done. I'm proud of all of you.
Okay. Does someone maybe want to be brave and raise a hand and tell me how I will use my inverse operations to solve for x here?
Let's go, my people. Scarlett. Thank you. You can just click on your side and talk.
I'm Helen.
Hi.
What you can do is you can say 21 divided by 3.
Awesome. Okay, now Scarlett, can you explain to me why I would need to divide by 3? Why am I not saying times 3 or minus 3? Why does it specifically have to be divide?
Because you're doing the inverse operation.
Yes,
awesome.
Go.
Well done. Woo. Okay, so guys, remember, if we broke that term down, what that's actually saying is 3 times x, okay? So as Scarlett said to us, we need to use the inverse of that. The inverse or the opposite of multiplication is division. Now, if I'm going to divide 3 and 3, so 3 divided by 3, I know I get 1. So essentially what's happening is I'm able to cancel away the coefficient. But to keep my equation, I'm going to start again. In order to keep my equation balanced, I need to also divide the right by 3. And so as Scarlett said, we need to divide 21 by 3. And we know that 21 divided by 3 is 7. Right, well done, guys.
My people are flying over this. Let's go.
Right. So,
I see Priscilla is busy even dancing to it.
Okay, guys, so I want you to try question 4 by yourselves because it seems like we're pretty confident with these equation questions. So I'll give you a couple seconds. I want you to solve for x. So x equals, I want the value of x. If you're feeling brave, please raise a hand and explain how you solved it once you've got your answer, or you can start popping your answers in the chat.
Let's do this, my people. Who wants to talk to us? I always like to hear all of these voices. Who would like to talk to us, guys? Debetu, do you want to raise your hand so that you can talk to us on how did you get that answer? Come on, guys, and explain to us. It will be so cool.
We all learn from each other, guys.
Yeah.
Also, because sometimes you do it differently, and then I learn new ways of doing things. So I'm as much learning as you are.
Okay, Lunga, we have you. We have you, Lunga. Let's go.
Hello, ma'am. Evening.
Evening.
I times. Well, first I times 2x. I figured that it would be equal to 10, so I times 2 times 5, and then I plus the 4, which equals to 14.
Okay, so tell me something. How did you get to 5? Like, what made you think of 5?
Well, I must have.
Okay, because I definitely agree x is equal to 5.
It had to have been a 10. It had to have been a 10 somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah. So then I divided the 2, and then what's 10 divided by 2, which would equal to 5. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well done. Right. So guys, the thinking that we've just heard there is essentially inverse operations. So just looking at the equation, if it has to be equal to 14 and I already have 4, it means I'm missing 10. And if I'm multiplying my unknown by 2, then exactly as Lunga said, it's got to be 5. So if we do this through the process of our inverse operations, the very first thing I always want to deal with is anything that's being added or subtracted. Okay, so in this case, I want to deal with this plus 4 first. That's the thing that will, once I've dealt with it, my life will be easier. Inverse operations tells me I need to subtract 4 on both sides. So I'm left with 2x is equal to 14 minus 4. Now we know that 14 minus 4 is 10, which is where that 10 came from in Lunga's explanation. And then we say, okay, the second thing I now want to deal with is the multiplication or division operations. So we know that between the 2 and the x, there's a multiplication. The inverse of that is division. And so I know that x is equal to 5. All right, excellent, guys. Well done. Now, very quickly. What's really nice about equations is we can always check our answer. Whether you do it on a calculator or you have a scrap piece of paper that you do it on, we can check our answers. In order to check your answer, what you want to do is you want to substitute. Okay, so anytime you want to check, we use substitution. And basically what that means is you want to take the value for x that you've just found, and you want to put it back into the original equation. So in this case, I would have 2 times 5 plus 4 equals 14. And what you're checking for is that the left-hand side of your equation is equal to the right-hand side of the equation. So if I quickly do the multiplication and addition, I've got 10 plus 4 should give me 14. And so I see that 14 is equal to 14. And because that statement is true, 14 is equal to 14, I know that my answer of x equals 5 is right. And this is just helpful when you finish a test or an exam and you're now sitting with like 5 or 10 minutes and you're twiddling your thumbs. You stop twiddling your thumbs and you go and check your equations and you make sure your answers are correct. If the left is not equal to the right, you've done something wrong. And that means you can then go check your working out. Alrighty. Okay, can we get a thumbs up, thumbs down? How are we feeling? We're feeling good, feeling bad.
Let's go, my people. Yes. Everyone is like, yeah, we know this, Teacher Sam. We know it. We know it. Well done, guys.
Good.
Remember to ask. Ask if you don't understand. Just raise your hand and ask. It's okay to ask.
So Mandla, I saw some thumbs down and Sia some thumbs down. If you guys have questions, please raise your hand or pop them in the chat so that we can help you with whatever you're confused about, okay? And if it's just more practice, we're going to do a lot more, so don't stress. Okay. Righto, guys, so let's have a look at the next question here. We've got negative 5x plus 3 equals minus 23. Now, I feel like just based on what's been going on, I could probably let you guys do this by yourselves. So I'm going to give you like a minute. Pop your answers in the chat, or if you want to, raise your hand and explain to us how you got your answers. But I want you to solve for x. You got it.
We can do this, guys. We can do it. Woo! Let's go. Princess, would you like to raise your hand and give us some answer? That would be nice.
Oh, sorry, guys. My screen went small. I apologize. There we go.
I see Princess answer, but I wish Princess can just talk to us, you know. Hey, Princess. Lunga, would you like to talk to us about your answer?
Guys, remember there's also a negative, hey? So just bear in mind your signs.
Okay, Lunga is going to talk to us.
So for this one, since the answer was 23, there had to have been a 20. So I times 5 times 4, and that's how I got the 4.
Okay, now tell me something. Is it going to be, because it's a negative 5, would it be negative 5 times positive 4, or would it be negative 5 times negative 4?
Yes. I think positive 4, yeah, I think.
Okay, so I'm definitely on board with the 4, but I think we're going to have to multiply by a negative. And the reason for that is because if I say negative 5 times positive 4, we know a negative times a positive is a negative. So that would give me negative 20. And if I add the 3, I'm not getting 23. But if I've got negative 5 times negative 4, that takes me back to the 20. And then if I add the 3, I get 23. Do you agree?
Yes, I agree with you, ma'am.
Okay, cool. So we agree it should be x equals negative 4.
Yes, 100%.
Well done. Excellent. Okay, guys, so if I show you this with inverse operations, remember I said the first thing we want to deal with is what we're adding or subtracting. So I'm going to subtract 3 on both sides because I want to deal with that plus 3. And so I'm left with negative 5x is equal to 23 minus 3, which is 20. You can write 23 minus 3 and then in the next step say 20. That's absolutely fine, but you don't have to. If you're confident you know what 23 minus 3 is, you can just write it down. Right, then I have to use my inverse operations and divide both sides by a negative 5. And then we know that negative 5 divided by negative 5 is 1. So we just got the x. And positive 20 divided by a negative 5 gives me a negative 4. And it's really important that we get those signs right, because as we explained there, if you then substitute something that has the wrong sign, you're not going to get that the left-hand side is equal to the right-hand side in your check. Okay, so just be careful of your signs when you have negatives. Right, how are we feeling after that one? Yay, nay?
Let's see, guys. Thumbs up, thumbs down. There we go. Well done, guys.
Good.
Well done, my people. We are flying through this. I'm so happy. Yes, Priscilla. I see those thumbs up. I see them.
All right. Okay, cool. So try number 6. Again, be careful of your negatives. So take into account your negative signs and try and do it, like I say, guys, with those inverse operations. And then I would really like it if someone would raise a hand and then explain their answer.
Let's go, my people. Let's go. Priscilla, have you tried this one? Moyo, have you tried it? Let's go, guys. Ofente, Jabu, Entle. Would you guys like to try it? Kano, I haven't heard of you.
You got it, guys.
Let's do this, my people. Let's do this. Let's keep the momentum up.
Yeah. And this might seem like you know this stuff and like you're like, oh my gosh, I'm really bored. I know how to do this. And that's good, right? You want to almost like feel super confident with this stuff, because when we start getting to the harder equations, it means that your basics are spot on.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm seeing some answers that I am liking. Anyone with those answers, do you want to pop up a hand and explain to us what you did? Kendra. Why not? Guys, we're all on the same team here. We're going to learn from each other.
Yeah, no one is gonna laugh at you. Don't worry. Yeah, we all just gonna share for you. And the more you actually talk to us, is the more you learn, because that's where you realize your mistakes, or that's where you will feel confident and you will learn how to answer also in class, which is good.
Also, I get tired of my own voice. I want to hear your voices. My kids once told me I sound like, no, I'm going to say it wrong. What is it? ASMR? Like the very focused sound things. And I don't quite know how to take it. So I was like, is that good? Is that bad?
Unati is coming to our rescue.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Unati, we can hear you.
So I think the answer is -2.
Oh, why? Or can you explain your steps for us?
Okay, so what I did is I moved the 2 to the other side and inverted it into a plus and did the same to the other side.
Excellent. So we had something like that.
Yes.
Cool. So what was your next step?
Then then the answer was -6. Then I divided -6 with 3.
Good.
Then I got my answer -2.
Awesome. Well done, Anati.
Oh, you did it well.
Right, guys. So exactly, -2. We use our inverse operations. We added 2 on both sides because remember that was a minus. So the opposite of that is +2, but we have to do it on both sides to keep my equation balanced. And then I need to divide both sides by 3 in order to get my x alone. Okay, and because it is a negative that we are dividing the 3 by, so -6 divided by 3, we need to be careful of our signs. And remember, if you are not sure, substitute your answer back in and make sure you get the left is equal to the right. And that will tell you if you're on the right track with your answers. Okay, how are we feeling? Good. Oh, I think it's good.
Yeah, so far I think, guys, you guys are giving me chills. You know this stuff.
Okay, right. take a stretch before we carry on with some more examples. Stretch out those backs, those wrists, those
Yeah.
necks.
Oh, I
Kendra is on the
needed this
stretches
stretch.
again.
Yes, guys, follow Kendra. Oh, I needed the stretch, guys. I needed it.
Right,
Faith, you need to stretch.
Especially if you're sitting on your bed or at a desk.
Ah, that was so good.
Right, your brain break question is how many squares are there in this image? And I'm going to give you a clue. You're not just counting the little squares or just the big square. There's lots of other squares that we can find in here.
Guys, it's tricky. Don't fall into Teacher Sam's trickiness. It's a tricky brain break. So you better be smart with it.
I'm glad we're also enjoying the maths jokes. Yeah, just one lol is enough for me. Ooh, KM thinking out the box here.
Wow, I never thought of it that way also.
Oh, nor did I. That just throws a whole spanner in the works. Oh, see, guys, this is why this is so great. We all just think so differently.
We do, yeah. Yeah, that was really smart.
Nice. Right. Are we ready to have a look? Okay, guys, so we definitely have 9 little squares. I think we can all agree with that. And I think we can all agree that we've got 1 big square. So that takes us up to 10. But we do also have some other squares. So if we have, oh God, Miss Molly. If we go and have a look at sort of multiple blocks making up a square, I've got another square over here that's made up of 4 blocks. So that's another one. I've got a second one, a third one, and a fourth one. So I actually have another 4 squares in my diagram here. And so when I add those all up, I get that I've got 14 squares on total. Cam's now thrown a whole span in the work and said plus the word square. So I suppose 15 squares if we're thinking outside the box as well. But in terms of in the diagram, we've got 14 squares.
Yeah, this was really tricky, like I said. Well done, everyone.
Nice, guys. Well done. Oh, I feel like I need another stretch. Alrighty. Okay, guys, are we ready to do some more equations? Wonderful. That's what I like to hear. Okay, I think I can give you 2 at a time here. So there's question 1 and there's question 2. Question 1, we've got 5 equals minus x plus 8. And question 2, we've got 12 equals 5j minus 18. Now, even though in question 2 there's a j, the instruction is, your instruction is telling you to solve for the unknown. So anytime you see a variable, that is what we're solving for. So in question 2, you should have j equals something. All right, so I want you guys to have a try of those 2 questions. Pop your answers in the chat, or if you want to raise a hand, go for it. Just remember to number your answers though as you put them in the chat so we know which is which.
Let's go, my people. Let's do this.
Okay, remember those inverse operations. Remember when there's a negative, just be careful of your signs. You got it, guys. You've worked so hard tonight. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, today was like another dimension, guys. Well done.
Okay, I'm seeing some answers coming in. Don't forget to number your answers, question 1 and question 2, just that we know.
And anyone wanting to give us some answers?
We'd like to hear. Kendre, yes, I've picked on you so
Ooh.
often. And now finally.
Hi, Miss.
Hi.
Hi.
Miss, I calculated, Miss, so I did 8 minus 5 would equal to 3, but I showed that it couldn't be a positive 3, it had to be a negative 3.
Okay. I'm in agreement with you. I just want to write it down so we're all clear. So you said 5 minus 8 is equal to negative x. Okay, say that you saw it couldn't be a negative 3, so it's positive 3 thing again. The last bit, say it again.
A negative 3, it couldn't be a positive 3, so it could be a negative 3.
Okay, cool. So in question 1, well done, Kendre. That's awesome. Well done.
Thanks, Miss.
In the first question, I suppose not what the trick is here, but what is different here in comparison to the other questions we were doing is the x is now on the right-hand side. Now that doesn't matter, okay? As long as you get x alone, it really doesn't matter. And there's a couple different ways that you can do it. There's a couple different ways that you might have been taught it, but as long as you have a positive 1x in your answer, you are sorted. So from this point, I just want to sort of explain from here. What we have is a situation of negative 3 equals negative x. Now, I don't want negative x. I want positive x. So what we need to remember is that is actually a coefficient of negative 1. And so much like we've always been doing, I can divide both sides by a negative 1. And we know a negative divided by a negative is a positive. And so we get that x is equal to 3. Now, 3 equals x means exactly the same thing as x equals 3. So if you want to then just write your answer as x equals 3, absolutely fine. All right. Another way you could have dealt with this, and this is the way some people might have been taught, is you might have been told, put all your x's on the left-hand side, which is absolutely fine. So if we just look quickly at this question, 5 equals minus x plus 8, if you want to always just have your variable on the left, you can move it or you can get it onto the left-hand side. So the problem here is that it's on the right, no stress. Using inverse operations, we can move it onto the left-hand side. And so what you now have on the left is x plus 5 or 5 plus x, doesn't matter which way, is equal to 8. Now your x is on the left. It is a positive x, so that's great. Using my inverse operations, I can subtract 5. And so x is equal to 3. I end up with exactly the same answer. So it's very much how you were taught. It's very much what you are more comfortable with. But at the end of the day, as long as your answer has just x and it must be positive, up to you. If you want to still work with x on the right, absolutely. So this is perfectly fine. You have given me the value of x. So that is good. Okay, so if you want to keep x on the right, absolutely fine. Do that. Okay. Does anyone want to try, explain, or give me an answer for question 2? You can raise your hand. Because I'm seeing some good answers here. Ah, Tumelo. Tumelo, do you want to tell us how you got your answer, or do you have a question?
Hi, ma'am. I
Hi.
wanted to answer the question
Awesome.
for number 2.
Great. Let me just make it a bit bigger so we've got some space. Okay, tell me.
So I said 5j minus 8 equals 12. Then I said 12 plus 8. I like inverted it. I said 12 plus 8 equals to 20. Then I divided it by 5, which gave me 4. Then to check my answer if it was correct, I said 5 times 4 minus 8, which gave me 12. So I know that x is equals to 4.
Okay, cool. So what you've done is perfectly correct. You've just used the wrong equation. So your equation that you used was 12 equals 5j minus 8. The equation was minus 18. However, what you've done, if the equation was 12 equals 5j minus 8 is 100% correct. So for that equation, you've done exactly the right thing. Okay. Do you want to
Okay.
try with the 18 or do you want me to do it?
I can try with the 18, it's okay.
Cool. Okay, cool. So I've done the first step. Tell me what I would need to do next.
After doing that, I say 12. Wait, yeah, after doing that, I divided. No, I first say 12 plus 18,
Which is?
which gives you 30.
Good.
Then I divide it by 5.
Good. And what's
Which
30
gives,
divided? Yeah?
it gives you 2.
30 divided by 5.
6. I'm so sorry.
No, that's absolutely fine. Well done. Awesome. Right, guys. So exactly, x is equal to 6. And as Tumelo correctly said, check your answer. Sub it back in and make sure that you get the left is equal to the right-hand side. Okay. Well done, guys. You are on it tonight. Are we happy with those two? Thumbs up, thumbs down? Questions, concerns, queries? Good.
Okay, well done, my people.
Nice, guys. You are on it today. Okay. Oy, 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 oy. Here are your next two questions. Me and my screen are just fighting. Okay, there we go.
You're getting it right.
Geez, me and technology just are not friends. Alrighty. So guys, we have got question 3, 4x plus 8 equals 72. And question 4, minus g minus 12 equals minus 17. Now, if you are feeling a little bit uncomfortable with the big numbers in question 3, I am perfectly happy with you using a calculator. I know not everyone's teachers might be happy with them using calculators, but I am happy if you want to. Otherwise, try and do it best you can in your head. Okay, Amathlia, I see your thumbs down. Have you maybe got a question that you can ask so I can try help you? Or do you just need a bit more practice with these?
Guys, remember, the more you ask questions, the more the teacher Sam can actually be able to help you, okay? So if you can tell her where you're getting lost, and then she can help you. And if you need more practice, then that's fine. That's what you're going to get.
Exactly.
I see Kano's answer.
Okay, so guys, remember, just number your answers because I have given you 2 questions. So just give me 3 and 4. And if it is a case, if you are feeling a bit confused and you need more practice, we are definitely going to do more of these. But please ask questions as we go along when you're confused. So if you don't understand why I've done something or why I've said something, just pop it in the chat or raise your hand and I'm happy to stop and help, okay? That is my job here. At your service. Oh, Kendra, I think you need to come up with some stretches for us. And we're just going to nominate you the stretch instructor for our lessons. I can just feel all the knots in my back. Okay, I'm seeing some answers coming through. Stretch instructor has been nominated. Be careful again, guys. Just make sure your signs are all correct. If you're not 100% sure, remember you just substitute your value for your variable n and double check that your left is equal to your right hand side. Good, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. And if at any point you are feeling brave and want to raise your hand and explain how you got one of the questions, please feel free to.
Yeah, I would like to actually hear your voice, guys. Let's go. Time is also flying. I'm trying to put the atmosphere up there, guys. Let's go. Faith, are you done? Would you like to raise your hand? Likue, Sepang, you look so chilled. Are you done? KM, let's do this. Would you like to raise your hand? Hey guys, keep them coming on the chat then.
Yeah.
It's also fine. We also appreciate just you participating on the chat. It's just to make you feel awake a little bit. That's why I'm calling your names. Okay. Lunga, is everything fine? Did you manage?
Guys, you're doing
Coach
so well.
Nates. Yeah, they're really doing well. Okay, if you don't raise your hand, teacher Sam will just go ahead and explain the stuff to you because no one is raising their hands to answer. Okay. But I'm so proud of you.
Me too, guys. You're doing really well. Right. Oh, okay. We've got a hand.
Ooh, there we go, Kendra.
Hi, Miss.
Hi.
Which one are you going to do? Question 3?
Question 4, Miss.
Oh, okay. Right. Apparently we're skipping to question 4. So let's start with question 4 and mix it up a bit, and then we'll come back to question 3.
Yes,
okay.
Miss.
Tell me.
I calculated -17 minus -12 gave me a -5. So my answer is -5.
Okay, so we would add 12 on both sides, 12, which would give me -17 plus 12. And as you said, that would give me a -5. Now tell me something. I've got a negative g there. So how do I make that a positive g? Because remember, I wanted to, yeah?
You do a negative and a negative, which will equal to a positive.
Cool, well done. So remember, guys, there's a -1 coefficient there. So we'll divide both sides by a -1, which means that g is a +5. Okay, well done. Well done. Okay, I'll give you another chance. Does anyone want to try question 3, or am I doing it? Cam's just smiling at me. I think that means I'm doing it. Okay, right, let's do this, guys. So we've got 4x plus 8 equals 72. So inverse operations. By the end of this, I promise you're going to be dreaming of inverse operations. I'm going to say it so many times. So the first thing I want to do, remember, is deal with whatever's been added or subtracted. So I'm going to subtract 8 on both sides, which means I have 4x is equal to, and 72 minus 8 is 64. Okay. Then I deal with anything that's been multiplied or divided. So in this case, I need to divide both sides by 4, which essentially gives me that positive x that I'm looking for. And then my screen decided to go small because that's how we do things apparently. And then what I have is x is equal to 16 because 64 divided by 4 is 16. you can go back and check by substituting into your equation, and you should get that the left is equal to the right. Okay, I saw that we didn't get a chance to take a screenshot, so what I'll do is I'll make it smaller so you can see both. Take a quick screenshot so that you've got your answers, do your corrections, ask me questions. All right, guys, you got this. Okay. All right, how many do we have left? Oh, we've got 3 left. So, oh no, I can't count. We've got 4 left. Oh, I chucked in a fraction because I'm just mean. Okay, 5 and 6. I want you to try by yourselves. Let's go. So 5, you've got 14 equals 12 minus r, and 6, you've got minus 6 minus 5 is equal to negative 29. Remember, if you want to keep your variable on the right, that is absolutely fine. It does not have to be on the left, but you are solving for positive 1r or positive 1x or whatever variable you have. Okay. If you have questions, remember, raise your hand. Otherwise, put your questions in the chat. You can put your answers in the chat. Just remember to number them so we can see. And obviously, if you're feeling brave, we'd love to hear how you did your answers.
Yes, guys, let's go. Ariabete didn't get a chance to take a screenshot. Can we go back so he can take a screenshot?
Okay, so there we go. We can see the questions we want to do, and we can see the questions we did. You got it, guys. Okay, guys, again, be careful of your signs. Make sure that we're taking into account our inverse operations. I'm going to give you a little hint for question 5. If you're going to keep r on the right-hand side, what we want to do is we want to deal with that 12. Now, remember, 12 is positive, which means I have to subtract 12 on both sides. So just be careful there. Okay, does anyone feel like trying or sharing their answers? I'll give you like a minute or 2 if you want to raise your hand. Kendra again.
Hi, Mush.
Hi, tell us.
Mush, I have calculated 14 plus 12, which gave me 26. And I thought to myself, and I wrote into my calculator, 26 minus 12. It is going to be odd.
Okay, now tell me something. Why did you plus 12 to 14?
You Mush. Now I don't know.
Okay, guys, so just be careful. If we look at this equation, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make this bigger, and I will get to question 6. So if you don't have it, don't stress. Remember, this 12 is actually a positive 12. So if I'm going to use inverse operations, I want to subtract 12, which means I actually have 14 minus 12 is equal to negative r. And
Negative
14 minus 12 is 2. And then remember, we have this issue of the negative r. I don't want a negative r. I want a positive r.
positive R.
So that means I have to divide both sides by a negative 1. And so r is negative 2. And remember, if you've written it the other way, r equals negative 2, it's the same thing. Okay. So just remember your inverse operations. But Kendra, thank you for sharing with us.
Yes, mas.
Right. Does anyone else want to try question 6 for us?
You guys are doing so well. Let's go.
You got it,
Let's
guys.
go.
Okay, I'm going to take the no hands up that I must do it. Oh, no, never mind, Cam. Oh, sorry, everyone.
Let's go, KM. Finally.
Hey, ma'am. So for number 6, I minus negative 29. I plus negative 29 with 5. And then after that, it gave me negative 24.
Okay.
And then,
yeah, keep going.
and then after that, I divided negative 24 with 6. And then I got 4.
Perfect. Well done. Okay, so if I just need to run through this again, what we did was we used our inverse operations. So I added 5 on both sides. And as KM said, negative 29 plus 5, sorry, that's a plus. Plus 5 is negative 24. So then I had negative 6 equals negative 24. I want to get that x alone, so I needed to divide the left by negative 6. But what I do on one side, I must do on the other side. So I had to also divide the negative 24 by negative 6. And be careful. We know that when we've got a negative divided by a negative, we actually end up with a positive. So that's why my answer is a positive 4. Okay, so just be careful of those signs. But well done, everyone. Good job. Okay, right. We have got 2 more. And you are doing so well. Okay. Just in case, I realize that we did that a little bit fast. We need a screenshot. There you go.
Yes, screenshots.
If you need, you can. If you need question 5 and 6, there they are to screenshot, but hopefully you can also see 7 and 8. So I want you to try 7 and 8 by yourselves. Guys, again, be careful. Inverse operations and be careful of signs. Signs is what always trips us up. When we get things wrong, it's just because of a silly little sign and it makes us angry.
Yeah. It does.
Right. Okay, last chance to screenshot if you need to. Otherwise, I'm going to move up so we can see these questions. Okay, guys, last 2. You have got this. And if you struggle with question 8, that is a good thing. Question 8 is a lot harder than what we've been doing, but I threw it in because I was hoping we would fly through this like we did, because you guys are so great. Nice, Theo. Well done. Taking into account your signs. That's good. Good. Well done, guys. You've worked so hard tonight. I'm so proud of you.
You're doing well, guys. Let's go. Let's move. Let's move. And also time is going. So let's move. Let's move.
Okay. Does anyone want to put their hand up to explain question 7? Or how they got their answer for question 7? It is quiz night tonight. That's why I want to wrap up these two so you can get started on that quiz. Oh, Theo, well done. And I'm going to pick on you. Do you want to tell us how you got your 2 answers? You can raise your hand if you are keen. Okay, right, guys, I'm going to go through them so that you've got some time to get started on your quiz. So for question 7, again, lots of different ways you can do it. Oh no, Theo's here. I'm going to stop talking. Hi, Theo.
7, ma'am. I minus 7. I said 17 minus 7. Then I got 10. Then I divided minus m by minus 1. Then I got an m. Then I divided 10 by minus 1. Then I got a minus 10.
Awesome. Okay, sorry, my internet went a bit funny there for a second, so I just need to catch up with you. So we've got that, and then we have that. So m is minus 10. Excellent, Theo. Thank you.
Well done, Theo.
Do you want to try question 8 as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. That's what I like to hear. I'll come back to that one, guys, if you need to screenshot. Okay, tell us, Theo.
I said 7 minus 1. Then I got 6. Then I times it by 4. I got 24, and I divided by 3. And I got 8.
Awesome. Well done. Okay, so guys, what's really important when we get fractions is, like I said to you, we always deal with what's been added or subtracted first, which is why we subtracted 1. But the second I have fractions, what I actually want to deal with first is the denominator. Now, because that was a division by 4, my inverse operation is to times both sides by 4, which means that I have got 6 times 4, which is 24. So 3x equals 24. And what that does by dealing with the denominator first is it now leaves me with an equation that I'm more comfortable with, because I now know that all I need to do is divide both sides by 3. And so I get my answer of x is equal to positive 8.